everyone, it's Lizzie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing my December budget. We're going to go ahead and do a recap of what we made and how much we actually spent. So these are our actual numbers. If you guys are interested to see what my budget looks like, then keep on watching. So I use EveryDollar, which is a website and also an app where I plug in all of my numbers, and that's how I do my tracking. I don't do the paper tracking. The only things that I do track is my cash envelopes, what goes into the envelopes, and also what comes out. That's the only area in my budget that I actually do tracking. But as far as like how much we deduct for specific bills and things like that, I just do that on EveryDollar because it just makes it a lot easier for me. And I like to just view my expenses that way. So I have plugged in all my numbers, my actual numbers on EveryDollar, and I'm gonna go ahead and fill in what we made and how much we spent out. So the three things that I do use for doing this process are 3 different color pens. One of them, it's usually black, but since I wrote this in like this purple color, I'm just going to use the same color as what I budgeted out for. Red is for anything that I overspent. So anything that is more, it goes in red. And then anything that was under budget, I write it in this blue color. So that's just what kind of works for my brain. And I've always been doing it that way. Well, I've always been doing it that way since I started doing this way of budgeting. So now let's go ahead and review my EveryDollar. I have it up on my screen here on the computer, and we're just gonna fill in the numbers that we received. Now, December was kind of a month where we were adjusting, and the same thing with January. We're still gonna be adjusting to a few changes in our finances, and that is because my husband, he recently switched jobs and he is starting up his side business. So we're kind of in that transition period of figuring things out. So we have made certain sacrifices on our spending so that we can be in the process of figuring it out. And the same thing comes for January. We switched insurance companies and it was a higher premium. So our income is going to be a little bit less, and I'm not sure what is the specific amount, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. So now let's see how much we earned. So based on EveryDollar, the amount that my husband received was a little bit less. He's now getting paid twice a month instead of every week. So it was a little bit under than what we anticipated. And I don't know why I put $24.20 here when that wasn't the correct amount that I have on my EveryDollar. But anyways, so I don't know where that number came from, but the actual amount that he received, and we are being honest, is $1,983.30. Now, I didn't get the number because my husband had some side work done, but he has that in his business account, and we haven't like paid ourselves out of that money yet. So he did receive like income, but it wasn't put into our main account. So that's why that part is a little bit less. For me, I did earn a little bit more on my pay, and that was $2,083.43. So now let's figure out what the difference is. And again, I don't know why I put $24.20 here, but that's okay. $1,983.30. So the amount that was less was $436.70. On my EveryDollar, it says something different, but again, this was written on paper probably before I made some adjustments on my EveryDollar budget. That's what I'm basing it off of. On my EveryDollar, it shows that the amount that we planned for was $2,100. So yeah, not sure where that number came from, but it's okay. 2050 minus 2083.43. So the amount that I made over was $33.43. So now let's add up the total income. 30 plus 2083.43. So the total amount that we earned for income was $4,066.73 minus 4066.73, 403.27. So we did, based on my Every Dollar app, we did make a little bit less than what we anticipated. But on my Every Dollar, it's actually showing that our planned amount was $41.50 for the income and $40.66.73. So we were off by $83.27 based on what's on my Every Dollar. But I think I did make an adjustment on our income after I did this written out budget. So we do adjust our budget on Every Dollar every so often. Probably like mid-month, we'll just reevaluate a few things. So just keep that in mind if my numbers seem a little bit different. So now we do give, and that is 10%. So based on my Every Dollar, the amount that we gave was $409. So $409 is what we did give. And this offering, this is something that we have a set amount. So it is $20. So the total amount that we gave and are giving was $429. So let's see what we were off. 447 minus 409 is $38. All right. And now moving on to our fixed expenses. Most of these will be in the same color because it is a fixed expense. Now there is one big difference that we had to do some adjustments in our budget, and that I'll show you that in just a minute. But our mortgage, that is the actual amount, so nothing changed there. Our homeowners association, this here, we had received a bill from our HOA stating that something was due upon receipt, and it was $113. And they said that there was an overage for the community of what our builders had to pay out, and it was ridiculous, but we had to pay that upon receipt, and it was $113. And we normally budget out $34 so that we can pay quarterly our homeowners association, which would have been in the beginning of January. But then they also told us in that letter that our HOA was increasing in 2020, and that was also due on the first of the month. So we had like a double whammy thrown on us, and we had to make some big adjustments, and it was just crazy. It was craziness, but we did it. We cut back on a few things, and then we used our, for something like that, it's something that you didn't plan for. So we did pull some money from savings so that we can cover that, because that was it was not, I had no idea, and they gave us no notice. It had to be due upon receipt, and there was a lot of complaining in my community, but it is what it is, and we are now past it, and we are now into a new year. So we did pay more than that $34, and the total amount that we set aside and we did pay for our HOA this month was $198.27. So let's see what the total overage was. $198.27 minus 34. So our bill was $164.27 more than what we thought. And then our water bill, this is the actual amount of the water bill when I wrote out my budget. So that did stay the same. That was our actual bill. Our electric bill, however, this was an estimated amount because I don't get my electric bill until later on in the month, and it's usually due around the 20th of the month. And this bill was under, thank God, since we have to figure out how we're gonna save some money here. So our electric bill was $70.39. So 120 minus 70.39 we have a total savings of $49.61. Our phone bill, this is an actual amount, so $96.17. That does not change. Our internet bill, this has not changed either. We are planning on calling to have this canceled and then opened in my name to see if they're able to give us a savings of the promotion, because I have called to see if they're able to give us the promotion. They told me no, that we don't qualify for that. So it's only for like new service for new customers. And the internet is in my husband's name, and I've never had any service under my name before, so I will be a new customer. So we're gonna see if that works. I plan on doing that within the next few days after filming this. So just keep that in mind, that hopefully my internet bill will drop. ADT, this surprised me a little bit when I saw my auto debit taken from my bank account. And this came out for $67.03, which I didn't understand why that was, since we have a contract with them. So our bill should not be going up. So it went up by $3.61. And I called them, and they had told me that, oh, it's based on like competitors, and the rate could change. So they changed the rate on me. And I'm like, can you not? I called and I asked them, is there any way that you could lower the bill? And so coming January, our bill is lower. It's like $58. Let me actually look to see what the bill is. So for ADT, $58.42. So they did drop it, but it went up $3.61, which I'm like, this is just crazy. I don't know how this is possible that they could just do that. I didn't get the statement. It just like auto debits. So I was in shock that I was off in my like check register by a few dollars, and I was wondering what that was. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh no, I have to call them. All right, now we're moving on to gas and how much we spent on gas. So in the month of December, some exciting things have happened. One of them is we got a car for me, and so I turned in my car lease. So I'm no longer driving the car lease. However, I still have the car lease payment because my car lease was due in March. The beginning of April. So by March, I was to get a new car, but I was over my miles and I had to figure out what to do. So my husband's thought was, let's just get us a car. So I had put gas, like a little bit of gas in my car lease. And then I also had to put gas in the car that I have now. I'm like, I'm not making sense right now, but okay. If you follow me, just give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments that you're getting it, because I tend to ramble a little bit. So my gas that I had separated for me was over a little bit, but then my husband, he didn't spend that much on gas. So it kind of compensated. So the both of us, for my husband, he spent $180 on gas, and then I had spent $128 on gas. So we were over by $8 on our gas bill. So $308 was the total, which isn't too bad, to be honest, for the situation that we were in. So now our car lease, I did send in the payment for this, so that did not change. And then for SunPass, we were right at budget pretty much. So $94.66 is what we spent on SunPass. And then Disney was, so that is the same. That did not change, $63.52. It's a fixed expense. Same thing with our subscriptions. That did not change. Disney Plus, I thought that they were gonna include a little bit of tax this month. That's why I left it at $7.55, because that's how much they took out last month. But it was actually less. It was the $6.99. So it was by 56 cents from what my Every Dollar says. Car insurance, that did stay the same. So that was $210.77. This stays the same, ID theft, and then our life insurance for the both of us. And then groceries, I believe that did stay the same. Yep, groceries did stay the same. So now let's go ahead and add up all of our expenses and see what our actual number is for expenses. $33.91.16, but let me just double check to make sure that I put in the right numbers on my calculator. Okay, $33.91.16. Yep, that is correct. So we were over in our spending. And now let's see how much we were over. So $33.91.16 and minus the $32.65.79. So we were over by $125.37. So let's take our actual income, $40.66.73, and we're going to subtract the $4.29 of giving. And then we're going to subtract the $33.91.16 that we spent. And we are left with a remaining balance of $246.57. So I'm going to write this here in blue, $246.57. That was our remaining balance after paying all of the expenses and everything. And then here we did pay this, so that was the same. I'm just going to put a little check mark. And let's see how much we were able to set aside in savings. So I'm going to look at that really quickly because that is the main thing that did change, since we didn't earn as much and we didn't have as much left over to be able to put to savings. All right, so it's not showing me on my every dollar. So let me just look through the paycheck budgets and see how much we were able to set aside for these two savings accounts. Okay, so for car fund, for our December 13th budget, we put $81.18. So let's just look at, emergency fund, not car fund. And then again here, we put $123.75 to our emergency. And then the last paycheck, we put $14.06. So for our emergency fund, we were actually able to put $218.99. We didn't apply much to our car fund because, as I mentioned, we had already bought a car this month. So the rest was just going towards our savings, the emergency fund, because we no longer needed to set money aside for the car fund since we just used the balance that was already in our savings account for the car. So let me just repeat that in case you missed it. We had money already set aside in a car savings account, and it was a little over $2,000. So we no longer had to put money towards saving for our car since we already bought the car. So that's why we are putting it to that $218.99 in the emergency fund. So I'll just make a note up above right here, $218.99 is what I was able to set aside for the emergency. And now for the car, there was one paycheck that we did set money aside, $156.55. So now keep in mind, you see that this is obviously, it's more than what I had remaining. But because some of these bills came out that we were not expecting, I had to pull money because of this. So I did pull money from the emergency fund to cover our negative that we would have had because of the HOA. So I just wanted to kind of explain that to you guys a little bit because I know it could be a little bit confusing looking at someone else's budget. But as long as it makes sense to you, that's really the most important thing. And in the end, we were not negative on our bank account. We were able to pay all of our bills, and we were able to put a little bit in savings and get a car. So all in all, I think that December was pretty good. And just know my budget is not perfect. And there are times when I could have done better with, figuring out our expenses and done a better job planning ahead. But that's why the Every Dollar app is so important to us and our family, because I was able to go in there, adjust the numbers, and just make it a little bit more realistic where we were at in that month. So I always highly recommend looking at the Every Dollar app and seeing if it will work for you and if it's simple for you doing your budget. And also another note, let me know if you guys can hear me much better. I'm using a microphone for this video, and also I'm using a brand new phone that I got. I'm so excited. So hopefully the quality of this video will be 10 times better. And if it is, just let me know that everything sounds great, and if you can see everything more clearly. But this is everything. This is my recap for December, and I'm looking forward to the new year and making new budget goals. So if you guys like this video, and if you've been inspired by my budgeting videos and you're ready to tackle this year and tackle your finances to reach all of your goals, let me know in the comments. And also don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. I am very active over there, and I share a little bit more in depth with what we are planning in our finances and a lot of motivation there. So I'd love to see you over there. Give me a holler and I will see you guys in a brand new video. Bye guys.